Good afternoon, all you fabulous people. Uh, just letting you know we're a week out from Pro Tour London. Uh, I figured why not just go over some stuff that I think is pretty good pickups to look at when you're traveling internationally. Some of these have some pretty good opportunities. I'll touch on some specific cards as well as some just kind of blanket statements. Um, Code JCH still gets you a free month of Fyendal's premium. I might make another video after this just on the regular market update. Sub 674, almost to 700. Let's keep going up. And without further ado, we have Pro Tour London coming in on April 10th through the 13th. If you don't know, there's a few packages you can get with every event. This one in particular, I think, has some pretty cool stuff. The souvenir package, especially the CNC mat, the CNC sleeves, and the sink blows, are all really good and probably only going to be available at Pro Tour London. So if you have any interest in those, I would pick those up. The sink blows, I think, will command a pretty hefty premium, especially here in the States. And the events, you can also get the sync blows in side events, which I highly recommend if you're at Pro Tour London to try to get the side events to get as many syncs as you can, because those events are like 60 to 80 bucks depending on the event. They're sealed. They're mostly limited events, but you get a sync blow promo for just participating in the event once you pay your entry. Those I think will command a pretty penny. They probably at event will probably go from like uh, I would guess $70 to $90 depending on how lucky you're finding them. I've seen some sold to €90 already. The CNC mat and CNC sleeves seem like are in this deck box are kind of in the undesirable thing, and the Mist Veil box is kind of an added in extra. I think most people are just going to get those and rip them. Most people don't want to carry them back in their international travel bag. So that might be an opportunity as well. This Mist Veil archive box, Japanese, might be an opportunity to pick those up cheap and rip them and keep the singles and try to flip them if you have people that have interest in the Japanese singles. Some people command premium. Some people, I think it's a harder sell and they are under market pricing. Additionally, the Fabled and Gogan package have the I think this is, what is this mat? Crumble to Eternity. That was right. Mat, which is pretty sweet for Jarl. Jarl doesn't have that many mats. Mangle, it was his big one, and it was an old Crucible of War one. Was going for like 150 when he first came out. So this might help a little bit. I still think Mangle's better looking and kind of his key card. As well as Jarl Hero Sleeves. Probably will go from like 30 to 40 bucks, if not more. So if you have any interest in those are pretty good pickups. The packages of the cards for the Pack A, Pack B here, calling it's the Ninja and the Warrior, are commanding pretty hefty premiums here in the U.S. still. Like Jagged Edge, I think is like an $80 card by itself, not including the stances. Dragon Blood as well is up there, so those are pretty good packages to get and flip, because I think the package itself is like, okay, it's like 200, but half of that you get off the thing, and you get all these side events that you can cash in for other stuff. Additionally, the calling promos are still commanding quite a bit of premium too. All of these are very playable. The Battle Hardened package is not as good. For the Drew High is the real steal there. That's kind of it on the packages. Without further ado, if you don't know, there's a promo page on the FABTCG website, promos and extras, that you can see all the promos and kind of where they're from. That kind of helped me isolate some of these promos that I'm going to talk about, more region locked and kind of hard to get, and kind of have different prices in Europe compared to the USA. And most of it, what I'm going to be talking is card market versus TCG player. So first, we're going to start off with Time Snap Potion. This is, I believe this was a national promo. I just looked it up. $74. I think just last just a little bit ago. I think this is either last year or this year's national. No, we haven't had Nats this year. So last year's Nats promo, $74 in the U.S. and there's not that many here. I guess Magnolia has a whole bunch at 75, but here in Europe they are about 20 euro a piece. So that's a pretty sizable difference that might be worth grabbing some and bringing them back to the USA. Or if you're just interested in them and you're going to just grab them at a decent price. Similarly, the energy potion, I believe this was, hold on, let me, it was the Pro Tour Los Angeles, that's right. I wanted to say Nats again, and that's not right. Pro Tour LA Energy Potion is at 70 moderately played, so 72 for a non-foil, or sorry, for a near mint. And in Europe they're about 100, so there's kind of a flip there since they were only in Los Angeles. They are more valuable not in the United States, and vice versa. Dash Database Cold Foil. This was a specific promo, $75 here in the States. None have sold though, so keep that. Oh, never mind. One sold here at $60, $75. So they're pretty up there. There's like none listed on the market. Hard to find. Dash Database over here in Europe is 12 euro. Pretty sizable difference again. Might be worth picking up one or two just to try. Similarly, the Arachne Solitary Confinement, there is one listed on the market. There is no sold on TCG Player, $50. This one I would say be more cautious on because the Marvel is still here, but it's right around 50 again. But this is more for your promo hero collectors. $50 in the USA, and there's only one. And in Europe, there's quite a few here, and they range from like 15 euro to all the way up to like, let's call it 30 euro, and then it goes crazy. So pretty sizable difference. And once again, here in Europe, there's not that many listed here as well. So it's a pretty rare promo. All the Japanese alternate arts and kind of exclusive cards from Mistveil and Worlds, I think all of those will be a good time to pick them up at Pro Tour London. Just anytime when there's a large international gathering for these big events would be the time to pick up and negotiate on these. I would say the IRA, especially here at 2,000. I think I saw one on Card Market. Hold on. It's hero promos. Let me see if I can do this real quick. The IRA was like singles. Okay, I can't pull it up real quick. Anyway, I think these are pretty good pickups. International, you might have a little bit more arbitrage and art options to get them as opposed to be kind of region locked for them. If you're interested in these, Mask Momentum, I think for a non-foil Japanese $500 seems high for the TCG Player. I'm not sure what they're going on Card Market. Enigma, the IRA from Worlds Anniversary Pack, and these were from the first calling in Japan in Worlds, I believe. No, the Enigma was the first calling. This says Marvel here, but this is a non-foil or rainbow foil. Marvel is this one, and it's absurdly priced. It's not even priced. Anyway, the Hand That Pulls the Strings was an APAC / Japanese buy a box promo for the Hunted. It's exclusive, and it's got a cold foil version. I pulled up the non-foil from the region, or from the collection box. Seems like a pretty good pickup. They're going here in the States. I think I've seen them like $40, something like that. Might be able to cheaper find them with some of these international travelers. Fate Foreseen, the Asian one. I'm not sure on the specific language here. I apologize. I'm not internationally versed, if you will. These I've heard these are a lot more available and probably are easier to find with these international travelers, all meeting in one place. So 270, I think you could probably find them cheaper than that than here in the States. And there's only 2 listings on. There's basically a playset plus one here in the States. Sigil of Solace. I mentioned this one earlier in my video. The Barcelona ones, especially the $120 here in the United States, is pretty expensive compared to when you pull it up on Card Market. You're talking about 50 euros. I did get a sign set for like 60 euro a piece that I have getting muled back to the States for me from PT London because I really like these cards. But I don't want the $120 price tag. So if you're able to get those, if you're traveling, I think these are good pickups, as well as this one. I think the Sigil of Solace, the Merlone, I think is the other one, is about the same price. So take that what you will. And they have about the same amount of listings here in Europe. Yeah. So just might be more readily available. And last but not least, the History Pack Black Label foreign language Marvels for all the heroes of the OG heroes, I think are criminally underpriced. They're not even on TCG Player. I think they are very good priced here on Card Market. I apologize. The ones specifically, they also discontinued a lot of these languages, so these could be long-term holds. Just keep in mind, Italian language is the rarest of all of these. I think there was only like, what, 7K boxes printed of those or something like that. Correct me in the comments. As well as say any other cards that you know that are different between US and European markets or Asian markets, just kind of so we can compile it. The other thing I would say, any of the early sets that Europe didn't really have access to, that USA and other regions had, there is some significant price range differences, especially in like first Welcome to Wraith Alpha, Arc first, Crucible War first. I've even seen some Monarch prices being quite different. I would be a little bit more cautious as time goes on for that. Those kind of cards would be if you're in Europe and you have all these international travelers, USA, New Zealand, all those guys coming in, might be worth trying to pick those up at a fraction of a price of what you previously were buying. That's the real quick one. Named the few headliners here. Please comment in the below if I missed anything glaringly obvious that I would say. The other few things, I would also look at like region specific mats and like merch, that kind of stuff. Thinking like the Vinset shirts, the LSS swag that's only available at higher tier events, stuff like their deck boxes from Worlds. I think they had a misfilled big ol' like 1,000 count, or no, like 4,000 count box with the misfill art on it. That kind of stuff I would look out for. The merch wall, they've announced a little bit of stuff so far. I think it's the hand that pulls the strings that I mentioned before. It's Kabuto and it's Kiss of Death so far for mats. I'm sure we'll get another list as we get closer of all the merch table availabilities. I'm really interested in to see that. Sao Paulo had the Hunt to the Ends of Wraith mat, which I would really like. That kind of stuff that are region specific. Oh, I didn't pull it up. The Amsterdam No Rune armor would be a good one to pick up. Yeah, I think that's a pretty glaringly obviously one that I missed. Anyway, I just wanted to make this quick video. Correct me or comment down below if there's anything I missed that you've noticed between the international markets and USA markets and everything. on options of potential pickups for Pro Tour. Good luck to all you players that are playing in Pro Tour, and good luck to all your vendors that are going, and hope you guys all have some great pickups and can share. Have a good one. Bye.